Success is simply a matter of luck. Ask any failure. Earl Wilson. My friends, we see everything up for the day. The biggest winner for the day, Bitcoin up 8.65%, all the way up to $19.47. Is Bitcoin recovering? We'll see. A lot of trepidation there, but it did jam up over the course of the day. We'll first jump into the S&P 500, up a little bit, 0.36%. We look at where we are on this half-day chart. We have pushed through the 200 EMA into positive territory. We've been at the top for a while on the STC. It is still green. What about the 2-day? Well, of course, that 2-day just crossed over in this last 2-day candle, which of course started on Wednesday, ended today. And we are going to the next one. It is approaching the 200 EMA there. So as this new month has started, we have seen things rising on the S&P 500 weekly chart. Of course, as we jumped into the beginning of the new year on the 3rd of January, after the markets were closed on Monday the 2nd, we had a doji that week. This week, nice green up candle. We're above the 200 EMA on the S&P 500. Things going in the right direction. Now, where are we when it comes to the NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks? They've been going up also on this half-day chart. They're weaker than the S&P. They're still below the 200 EMA. Green on the STC. We look at the 2-day. It also has just gone from red to green. And again, a ways to go before it gets up to that 200 EMA. Like I said, the NASDAQ 100 weaker than the S&P 500, but two nice green up candles. We look at where we are on the weekly. It is trying to move back up into positive territory. It's in that downtrend right now below the 200 exponential moving average. We're green on the STC. That had flattened and now is peaking up again. So that's good to see. We had a down week as far as last week goes, as far as the Heikin-Ashi candlestick goes. Green week this week. That is good to see. We'll see how long that continues for us. Bonds, 1.97%, blasting through today. It pushed up on it yesterday, but blasting through the 200 EMA, just hammering up. STC is positive. Positive green candles for many days. Had one day there, Tuesday of this week, where things popped down, but then took off again. And we look at where we are on the 2-day chart. It is quite negative still, but going up. We've got 4 2-day candles, 8 market days of up movement. Switched over on the last candle from red to green. Still below, as I said, that 200 EMA on the weekly. Still well below the 200 EMA also, because we had a long time bonds were crashing, but for a 6-week period where they tried to move up. And then this latest, of course, we had 4 days of down movement there in middle to late December, but these last 2 weeks moving up. So we'll continue to keep our eye on bonds, my friends, and gold. Gold just continues to delight as it goes up 1.16%. It had leveled off for, it had really topped out back on Monday of this week and just sort of popped up around the same point, but took off this morning and up a little higher in the afternoon. Quite nice, well above the 200 MA in the green on the STC. We look at the 2-day. Of course, nice green up candles, particularly these last two, popping up above the 200 EMA, green on the STC. What about the weekly? Weekly's looking nice. It also, once it popped above the 200 EMA, this time the candlestick itself, not just a wick, it has taken off, and it's been nothing but green up candles for the last many, many weeks. Gold originally popped up to a high of $164.58 back on the week beginning November 7. And of course, the high most recently, that is this week, 176.71. Now, The most recent high in the past, highest high, we'll say in the last year, $178.07. No. High, $193.30. So again, got a ways to go to hit that, but that is beautiful. We'll see just how long gold will go, but it's looking quite sweet. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin and what we see going on. Now, remember, this is XBTF. This is the Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund. It's a Bitcoin future closed month, short term. What do we see going on there? Well, Bitcoin climbing up to the 200 EMA, and it did a lot of that ascent over the course of the day today. It just been hanging around in the doldrums, trying to move up. Again, it was not up to even that prior high of 1849 after we had that drop down into the 15s, and now ended up closing the day at 1947. That is very, very sweet as it pushes up on the 200 EMA. Does it mean that everything's changed for Bitcoin? I don't think so, but we do see some nice excitement. What does that mean to us? Well, with all that Bitcoin has done, as we look at these bigger charts, you can see it's got a ways to recover, but again, it is moving in the right direction. That's good to see. What about the weekly? Well, the weekly is, of course, green. I tell you what, let's go to the 24-hour day Bitcoin where we can get our 200 EMAs. Remember, XBTF has not been around long enough for us to have a 200 EMA. It's still working to formulate that since it didn't start until, I believe, November of 2021. So it is just working on producing that for us. But as we look at this, we can see on the 24-hour AD Bitcoin chart, we do have a green up candle. The first decent-sized green up candle we have seen in a while. That is on the weekly chart. On this 2-day chart, again, looking nice as things are moving up. Still a ways to go before we get into that positive territory as far as the overall trend goes. Now, on the half day, it, of course, popped up back in now, again, this is not, when I say half day, please remember, this is a 24-hour day Bitcoin chart, so it's doing 4 half days a day. Why? It's actually doing more than that because 195 minutes. But what we can see as we look at it is we can see a pop-up, a sideways move, a pop-up, sort of down and sideways, and then this latest climb as things really started ascending back on Wednesday the 11th. We have seen things just move up through Wednesday, Thursday the 12th, as things plateaued and then took off in the morning. So again, nice to see Bitcoin climbing. Just realize we've got a lot of recovering to do. We see Bitcoin start moving above the 200 EMA. We see our Bitcoin STC start to straighten out and give us some readable figures because of what has been happening lately. That'll make us feel a lot more confident about where we are going. And let's see how this pop-up continues. If people are going to get exuberant and jump into Bitcoin and really want to ride this pony, we'll see. We'll wait, watch, and see. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.